What's up you guys, my name is Michael Tandarich and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you clicked on today's video, obviously you're probably a teenager that is looking to invest. And before I get started on it, I just want to say if you are investing in your teenage years, you are going to be way ahead of everyone else. I personally wish I started investing in my teenage years. I didn't get started until like my late 20s, which was a massive mistake on my part, and I wish I had done it a lot sooner. And if you're doing that, trust me, you're gonna be light years ahead of everyone else. Now, I also wanna make a note too, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude making a quick video in his garage. So all the advice that you take from me, I'm just a dude in a garage. This is not financial advice. If you really want to get financial advice, go to a licensed financial advisor. Also, if you're a teenager that is under the age of 18, you're gonna want to get your parents in on this. They need to help you with setting up your bank account to be able to put the money into, and also setting up the brokerage accounts. So whatever accounts that you're gonna use to do your stock trading on, those accounts, if you're under 18, you're gonna need your parents' help to set up. So make sure you have a quick conversation with them to make sure that they're able to help you set those up, and then you should be good to go. All right, so let's dive into how to invest in stocks as a teenager. Now, the first big thing is this. You're gonna need income.
Show me the money!
Obviously, you need money to invest in stocks. So whether you have a job or you have a side hustle or you're building a business or you're selling things on Facebook Marketplace or I don't know, flipping sneakers on eBay, I don't know, whatever you do. You're gonna have to have some kind of income to be able to put money into your bank account and then funnel that into the brokerage account to be able to trade stocks. Obviously, this is kind of like a no-brainer thing, but I just wanted to make sure it was mentioned that you need to be bringing in money in order to make more money in stocks. Okay, the second thing you're gonna have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel because I come out with videos on personal finance and on business, so you're gonna learn a lot if you follow my channel. And also, if you like this video, it helps get it out to more people. And I'm sure you can guess by now that actually wasn't number two. Number two is actually, don't get caught up in the hype of stocks. Right now is actually a really crazy time because it's so easy to invest in stocks. It's so easy to get access to it, and there's so many different social media platforms that it connects us to so many people across the entire world. So you're able to have these movements where you're able to pump a certain stock, for example, and then dump it. So what that means is basically people on like TikTok or Reddit will get together, they'll pump a certain stock, shoot it to the moon, and then drop it. So it's very, very enticing to like look at other people's TikToks or their Reddit accounts and see how much they're actually making. And this might be part of the reason why you're watching this video, is to like, okay, I'm seeing all these people on TikTok making, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars off AMC. So like, how can I do that myself so that I can drive around the next Lambo?
Enough with the Lambo, man. Lambo.
And trust me, I want to drive around a Lambo too. But investing in crazy stocks like AMC or GameStop that are gonna blast through the ceiling and then drop is a very, very risky way to do it. It's possible, clearly people are making money off of it. I've made some money off of those things. However, it can't be your entire strategy of making money with stocks. And in this video, I'm gonna show you like the exact way that you can make like a really good amount of money off stocks, but it's gonna be more long-term. So I just wanna make it clear that there are stocks like AMC, GameStop, Build-A-Bear, where people are pumping those and then they're dumping them. So be very, very careful when you're investing in stocks to not get caught up in the hype of things like TikTok and Reddit, where it's just all these people are just pumping a certain stock and then you could potentially lose a lot of money. So that being said, I think the third note that I wanna make is realize that when you're investing in stocks, it's for the long term. I know as a teenager, like it feels like that's your entire life. There's nothing like really else going on. But life itself from like your teenage years to like, you know, when you're like 80, 90 or 100 is a very, very long time. And if you play the game right with stocks, you can easily become a millionaire by the time you're retired. So like I said, it seems very enticing to like dump your money into like, you know, these crazy stocks that you're seeing on TikTok. Think about the long-term investments as the real way that you're gonna build wealth. Not the get rich quick money, but you want to build wealth. That's the stuff that really gets you the Lambos and the nice houses. Now that I have all those points aside, let's dive into exactly how you're gonna invest in stocks as a teenager. Okay, the first thing you wanna do is you're gonna have to open up a brokerage account. So this account is where you're going to do your stock trading. So there's multiple different brokerages that you could use. The ones that are easiest are Robinhood, Webull, or Public. And if you're looking at any YouTube videos, obviously you probably know these apps already. If you don't, what you can do is in the description of this video, there are links in which you can click to set up your account. By signing up, you get free stocks for each one of those brokerage accounts. So set aside the fact that you're gonna be, putting your money into a brokerage account. If you set up with all 3 of those brokerage accounts, in each one of those accounts, they're gonna give you a free stock. So it's free money. You might as well click the links in the description and sign up for one of those accounts. Again, if you're 18, you're totally fine to set up an account with these. If you're under 18, ask your parents for some help and you should be good. Now, with either Robinhood, Webull, or Public, you can pick whichever one you want. I would suggest doing it with Webull. It's probably the most reliable one. Robinhood, especially if you're gonna start putting a lot of money into it, they've had a lot of issues. And so sign up for the account, get your free stock, but I would say really use something like Webull or Public to really put all your money into and start your investing. And what's cool about these brokerages is you can do it right off your phone. You don't have to do this like old school, sit at your computer, do what your dad or mom used to do where it's just like, oh, I'm doing stocks. No, it's like right off your phone. It's super easy. It's click a couple buttons, you're buying stocks, you're selling stocks, you're going to the moon. It's great. But the first step is going to be signing up for either Robinhood, Webull, or Public and getting some money into those brokerage accounts to be able to start trading stocks. Okay, so once you have your account set up, this is where we're getting to the fun stuff of actually investing in stocks. Now, a stock, if you don't know, is basically a percentage of a company that you own. And basically, if that company's value goes up, you make money, and if it doesn't, it goes down and you lose money. Basically that simple. Now there's a bunch of different types of stocks. There's dividends, index funds, ETFs. I'm gonna make an entire video where I dive deeper into what each one of those means. I know the words are pretty confusing. It can seem like go right over your head. I was very confused the first time I heard all those words. So I'll make an entire other video describing what those mean. But for this video, we're gonna focus on index funds. Now, an index fund is basically a portfolio of a bunch of other stocks. So what that means is when you're buying this index fund, you're getting a smaller percentage of a bunch of different companies. And why this is great is basically on the long term, it's going to give you a better rate of return because let's say in this index fund, you have something like Tesla, Apple, Amazon, and Disney, right? The Tesla stock itself might go really high and Amazon, Disney might drop. But what's gonna happen is because you're investing in this index fund, it's going to take basically the average of those 3 or 4 stocks and give you a return based on that average. So like I said, you're not investing in just the one stock of like Tesla that you're gonna shoot up or Amazon that went down and you're like losing money. But instead you're getting a small percentage with this index fund and you're gonna be making a better rate of return on a very long term or a more consistent rate of return on long term than if you just did an individual stock like Tesla. And what's great about this is there's professionals out there combining the stocks into these index funds and you don't have to really do all the research of figuring out which stocks are going to be best to invest in. It's basically already done for you in the index fund. There's a bunch of different companies that have index funds, but the one that I really like is called VTI. And that's the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. Now here's why I personally like this index fund. Since the time it was made in 2001, it's always gotten an average return of about 8%. In the last 10 years, it's gotten an average return of almost 14%. In the last 5 years, it's got an average return of 16.5%. In the last 3 years, it's got an average return of 17%. And in the last year, it's had a return of 62%. Granted, obviously, you had to time that with COVID. The stock market's all kind of tanked around that time and then it really all spiked back up. But the point of it is, let's say 10 years ago, you invested $10,000, right, into this index fund. As at this point right now, you would have $37,000 just sitting in your account from that original $10,000. That's the percentage increase that you would have gotten in the past 10 years if you had invested $10,000. I know it's a lot more of a long-term play, but if you're working hard, you're working side jobs, you're putting your money into your stocks and investing them, 10 years down the road from now when you're in your 20s or your 30s, you're gonna have a lot more money from that original amount that you had put in. So let's get super practical about this. Let's say you put in $5,000 originally, and then every single week from that time on, you put another $50 in. Maybe you cut one lawn grass every single week, and you take that $50 and you invest it back into your VTI, your Vanguard Total Stock Index Fund. If you take the next 10 years and look at their average rate of return of about 14%, that original $5,000 that you put in and then every $50 you put in would be $75,000. So this is where it gets really exciting. Let's say you put that first $5,000 in and then you put $50 in every single week for the next 30 years. Your original investment of $5,000 and $50 every single week will be at $1.4 million. That means in 30 years, if you just stick to that formula, you will be a millionaire. So the point is I understand that AMC and GameStop and all these other stocks seem super exciting, but if you go the long-term play, you're gonna make a lot more money. So now you kind of understand, how you can actually start investing. Here's the exact way you're gonna do it. Once you open up your brokerage account on Robinhood or Webull or Publix, you're gonna put some money in from your bank account. Let that take some time to process into the brokerage. And then you're gonna look up the stock ticker VTI. And that's the Vanguard Total Stock Index Fund that I've been talking about. And then what you're going to do is you're gonna put money into it, and then every week you're gonna put whatever amount you wanna put in. Or every day you can put in whatever you want. And then over time, with that average rate of return, it's going to get you, whatever calculation you want to do, but it's going to get you exponentially more money over a long period of time. Now, granted, you could start investing in stocks like Tesla and you might get a better rate of return. It might also go down a lot harder. You can invest in stuff like Apple or Amazon or any of those kind of things. And if you want to do that, you can still do that on that brokerage. Just look up their tickers and then you can invest in those stocks too. However, personally, if I was a teenager right now, what I would do is I would take my money, I'd put it into VTI, and then every single week I would put as much money as I could into VTI, and by the time I was 30 or 40, I'd be a very happy millionaire. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did get any kind of value out of it, I would love it if you liked the video and left a comment below. Like I said before, I make videos on the business and on personal finance, so if you want to learn how to bring in more money to put into your stocks, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.